I mean, you know, O'Reilly, eat your heart out. Look at it. Fox contributor Monica Crowley, legal analyst Lis Wiehl, from the Fox Medical Aid team, Dr. Cynara Coomer, and marketing strategy consultant Julie Roehm. What else do I have to say? I mean, there are some issues, but sometimes it's important to dress the issues up as well. By the way, you're color coordinated and everything.
Yes, thank you for noticing, David.
All right. I got to do a little work here. Fire up the clock. President Obama trying a different tune on BP. Take a listen.
I don't sit around just talking to experts because this is a college seminar. We talk to these folks because they potentially have the best answers, so I know who's asked to kick.
Ooh, Obama said, given the chance, he'd fire BP CEO Tony Hayward. So is Obama trying to focus populist anger on BP to get some of the pressure off of him?
You know, Obama's cool demeanor and detachment has not served him well in this crisis. People are saying he's not passionate enough, he's too lethargic in his response. He's really been stung by that criticism, so his idea of dealing with the crisis and the criticism is to use that kind of a language. We all know that was totally contrived.
A marketing expert, Julie, what did you contrive?
Of course, and the irony is that in that same conversation, he also talked about the fact that he hadn't even bothered to call back the CEO of BP. He's never talked to him since this has happened, and that it's because he's not playing politics. He doesn't want to play politics, yet he uses a statement.
There is also a criminal investigation that's ongoing that was announced last week, and so whatever he says can and will be used against him. So he has to be a little bit careful about that with the criminal
But he
investigation.
wasn't careful talking about Hayward getting canned.
No, he wasn't. And basically, he's looking for a scapegoat now for what is becoming his Hurricane Katrina. And that's the real problem here. He hasn't stepped up to the plate soon enough. You know, let's face it, BP is definitely at fault. That's not at question here, but he needed to act sooner on this.
Look, the presidency is filled with unpleasant and unexpected events. The question is, how does a president handle them? And so far, he has failed the test.
Okay, well, GM are recalling 1.5 million vehicles worldwide. GM worried about a heated windshield washer fluid system that could have caused 5 fires. Now, the recall affecting a range of brands starting with 2006 models, 1.5 million vehicles, 5 fires, but GM doesn't have the sort of commission, these monkey trials that Toyota had. Julie, you were in the industry for what, 12 years?
I was, yeah, and and I've written extensively on the Toyota recalls as well. I think the unfortunate part here is beyond the recall itself. It's that when you have the company and the regulator are one and the same, i.e. the government, you can't win. And of course, whether or not it's right or wrong, you're going to have a skeptical public. And the last thing GM needs, and we need GM to be successful, but the last thing GM needs is a political dissension, and that is hurting their perception and their sales.
We knew there would be some kind of conflict of interest when the government buys into a private company.
Seeing here again. But on the other hand, to be fair, with GM coming and saying, look, we're going to pay you the $100, I think, back. We're going to make sure that we take all these out. We're going to repair them. Nobody was injured yet. As opposed to Toyota.
Right. I mean, GM basically came down very hard on Toyota. They came down hard on Ford for 3 complaints of some minor issue that they considered a recall for. The bottom line is they are definitely getting protected from the White House because the White House is so involved in GM.
The White House and Congress. I mean, it's all one, the government.
Screaming conflict of interest, right? Because, look, the bailouts were all about bailing out the Democratic constituencies, namely the UAW, the United Auto Workers, the unions involved in the auto industry. That's what the bailouts were all about saving that constituency. Now we have this recall. GM is in a load of trouble. GMAC is drowning. They might have to come back for more money. And now we've got this recall. It's a mess.
Why do they always give you the last word?
Because I'm always right.
You're
You're all right, too.
Oh, man, what have I started? Oh, my goodness. All right. Democratic Tea Partier Mickey Kaus doesn't have much of a shot against Barbara Boxer from California's Democratic Senate primary, but he did get headlines by joking that he could be bought by the White House if he drops out. Now, Kaus does have a serious message for the Democrats. He's a liberal who wants Dems to end their cozy relationship with special interests like unions. Any chance that Kaus could bring moderates back to the Democratic Party?
I don't think so, because Kaus is a liberal, right? I mean, he's doing this. This is essentially a PR stunt.
He is a little wild. Of course, it's fully a PR stunt.
His campaign is very comical, and at least he's drawing attention to the fact that the White House has not lived up to his promise to change the nature of politics.
And Dr. Coomer, I love it when a Democrat hits at another Democrat. I mean, you expect Republicans to do it, but when a Democrat does it, it's fun.
Right. No, thanks so much for your help against Boxer. We appreciate it. But in reality, he's not going to win. Democrats are not going to give up the unions because who's going to pay for their campaigns?
wonder what kind of job he is going to get then out of this. I mean, I got a pretty good one with all this.
He's joking.
Oh, from a marketing perspective, it's a brilliant
Yeah,
move. He's
it
the
is.
underdog. You know, I
It
mean,
is.
what could be better? And it really draws attention to the issues at hand, probably better than any of the
And
Trump
draw
speeches.
attention to him.
And even in a great way. But I think it points out too the issue the White House has let this story get so out of hand
Yeah.
because they didn't investigate when they should have. And
Great point.
and the old Washington adage is it's the cover, not the crime that
Sure,
gets
the
you
White
every
House
time, right?
would love for this guy to go away. All right, coming up on deck, thank you, ladies. We're going to see more of the ladies coming up. Also on deck was the